Um, where do you get high income in real estate? There's only two buckets, primarily two buckets, right? Bucket number one is exactly what you're doing. It's private money, private credit, first lien lending. That's just basically the safest place to be. And you get your yields, let's call them from 8 to 12%, right? They could be a little more, a little less, but I'm using that range. Somewhere around probably 10% on average, plus minus. It's generally secured and it's generally current income. That's all you get. So if you're investing self-directed IRA money, it's really happy. If you're investing cash, it's taxed at the highest tax bracket because it's current income, right? Interest income is taxed at ordinary rates. And then you go traditional real estate, owning real estate. And then the deals where you can get really good yield is what we do in industrial and open air retail, because they get bought at the cap rate that is significantly higher than the cost of mortgage. So we use 2% positive difference or positive spread. So if we are buying an industrial property at 8.5% cap rate, that's unlevered rate of return is 8.5. Now you lever it with 6.5% debt or 6.25% debt, you have really strong cash flow. Your cash flow can be often close to the private money, and then you have depreciation shield. Depreciation shields you from taxes for many years. And on top of that, you have some forced appreciation through rent growth and escalation clauses. The reason I mention this is, what do you think? I just love to hear, because in my head, private credit is private money is wonderful, but there's something potentially a little better for some folks who can get a little more comfortable with an equity investment. And by the way, the equity investments are very conservatively leveraged, like 65%. It's funny, 65% is a magic number. If you're lending money, you want to be at 65% leverage, because that's what makes it conservative, right? Mm-hmm. And on the other side, if you're an equity player, if you're at 65% leverage, that's also conservative to own a property because you're not taking too much leverage. What do you think?
I think so. I can only speak to the private lenders that are loaning money for my business and also loaning money to my students across the nation. So all they've been exposed to is the asset backed, what I've been talking about. And the reason it works so well is because it's simple. It's very simple to understand. So would these people be also interested in other opportunities like you're talking about? And the answer is yes, if they can understand it, right? If they can understand it and it's presented simple and the trust relationship is there. That's one reason we get so much money so quickly is we establish the relationships first before pitching a particular deal.
But that's given, by the way. That is given. No like and trust must exist before you can ever raise a dollar. Without it, you can never get a dollar.
That's right. That's right. So as long as that relationship is there, the trust is there, and then they understand how this works, then the pieces are in place.
Yeah, I like how you think. You have an incredibly simple way of thinking, but it's incredibly practical. So it's you build authority, credibility, expertise, you build trust, and then simple solution. The more complicated it is, the harder it is to understand, and confused mind always says no.
Exactly. I was going to say a confused mind never takes action. Well, actually, not doing something is an action.
Well, no, it's an automatic no. I mean, it's kind of funny. Most of us in our lives, we learn the power of no, because you have to be saying no way more often than yes. Otherwise, you'd be in a lot of, you would never have enough time around the clock if you keep saying yes to everything, and you would never have enough money if you keep throwing money at everything.
That's right.
So you gotta be very selective in what you do with your time and what you do with the money.
Absolutely.